Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Welcome back to another edition of the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's my intention to help you get out of your comfort zones, find your purpose, and obtain happiness. So here's the deal. I am, as you know, from my podcast, I'm currently in the process of training another manager individually and training the other managers in a group. So what I don't think they know is that I have a lot of reference material at home. I've got about 2 bookshelves filled with information on training stuff that I've written and other seminars and events that I've gone to. And I've gone to a lot. And when I say a lot, I'm looking at the amount of money that I spent on educating myself to become an expert in the field. And it was never my intention to become an expert in the field. I just wanted to learn a little bit more so I could earn a little bit more. And I believe that. And in the last podcast I just did, I mentioned that people would actually pay, a certain fee, $7.95 or $3.95 to come and attain one of the seminars that I was doing, again, for somebody else or my own. And what would end up happening is we saw that those people that were surveyed actually did make more than the people that wouldn't attend surveys and, lacked training, I guess. So it's true. You train more, you earn more. That's just the way it goes. You learn more, you earn more. Referencing all this training material that I have, I realized how much I forgot. I know the topics. I know the outline of the information. But when I start looking at my notes and going back that time period, where I was at in my life during that time period, I'm astonished at how much where I've grown as an individual. And I didn't even write this stuff down in my initial No Comfort Zone blueprint when I went through my timeline and I tried to figure out, okay, what am I good at? What am I bad at? What do other people think I'm good at and bad at? Where are my good decisions? Where are my bad decisions? And what are the consequences, both of those good and bad? It sounds confusing, but in the blueprint, I kind of go through that so you can know exactly where you're at and why you do what you do. When you hack yourself, you can start to create a better version of yourself. So that's what I had to do. Find all my comfort zones and all the reasons I did what I did, change those, and then I started to get different results. And then the results came really fast, and they were much better and much more pure and more real. I felt like I was alive for the first time in a long time since I was a kid. So after doing that, what I have is I have all of these training manuals, and I was reading through them, and I look back at it, and I'm like, why have I invested all this money in training? Why would I do it then? Why would I do it at this point in my life? When I was at this point in my life, why did I do it? And it's all for the same reason. I really wanted to be the best version of myself that I could be in that aspect. Meaning I wanted to learn how to close more deals. So I'd read something on that. I wanted to learn how to follow up better. I wanted to learn how to make time management easier for me and get more organized. So I would read that. And then I would attend these seminars and learn process. So I wanted to save time within the process. So I guess when it comes down to it, I was trying to make more in less time. And I realized in this aspect of training and developing myself, I did over time become an expert in the field. So I've been to the Tom Hopkins. I've been to the Robert Kiyosaki's, Tony Robbins multiple times, and Grant Cardone's. I knew Grant when Grant first started out. I think it was probably the first time I met him was in 1996. And if you don't know, go check him out. He'll tell you how great he is, because he is pretty great. I mean, there's no denying the fact of where he was and what he's made himself into. And I think he changed the sales game big time. But I studied a lot of his information. And then one day I was actually working with him when he was in Southern California. And we were doing seminars out there, me and another guy by the name of Carlos. And from there, after the economy took a tank, Grant exploded. He went through some hard times, I guess, according to his books, in one very brief conversation. But then he ended up going and catapulting, and look at him now. I mean, he's on top of the world, and good for him. He's got a jet, and life's good for him, and he's definitely hustling and going after it every single day and bringing people along with him. So mad respect for him when it comes out to that. Tom Hopkins, same thing. Went to a couple of his seminars. I'm sure the guy's had some ups and downs, but he's gave me a lot of information. And then Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, I met 2 different times in my life. One seminar, he actually, we were having a great time, and he actually gave me one of the personal power things for the group that I was with. And I ended up devouring it, and I took that information. I wore the cassette tapes out. Another time I went back and got the CDs and played those in my car when I was getting to Hawaii. And I just realized that having all this training in my background on personal growth, personal development, and there's tons of other ones that I have. But what I ended up doing was I was able to take this information with my experience and put it into a kind of a format that is what I call the no comfort zone mindset. And this no comfort zone mindset, whether it's going to be training salespeople, training managers, helping an organization move the needle, helping an individual get out of adversity and obtain goals, it all's wrapped up to the same thing. It's so broad, but can it be so strategic and so specific? So why am I bringing this up now is because I look back at my memories of going through these seminars and working for these trainers. There's a couple of them that I ended up working for, and then I did things on my own. And I realized one thing along the way, that all of this people in this world, they train, it's the same idea. It's information, it's word tracks, it's mindset. They put it all together, and then they make it their own, and it becomes their process or their method. And whatever their process or method is, if you apply it and you can get results out of it, then it's good for you. And if you can't, then don't. But I'm looking through my training manuals, and I'm realizing that there is so much information that I don't even use anymore, because at this point in my life, it's not relevant to me. But it is relevant to the new manager that I'm teaching. It's very relevant because this person doesn't know. This person has to get their own experiences under their belt. They have to make mistakes, gain some, real good experience, make mistakes, use them to basically become better, and then get the wisdom so they can then move the needle. Now, how do you do that in a short period of time? Well, you got to tell stories, and you got to get that person involved and challenge them and put them into an environment where they can make decisions. And listen, not everyone's going to make the same mistakes you did or I did. But it's interesting to watch this person grow and develop. And these little things that I take for granted are really crucial to this person's development. So if you're in that role, and if you're helping somebody, remember, it's not what you know, it's what they don't know that you have to teach them. And that's kind of, I guess, the word for today. Because I look back to my first seminar I ever went to. The very first one that I went to was with Tony Robbins. And it was, I think it was a one-day seminar that I went to. And it was jacked up. It was high energy, and it was really cool, and it was fun. Met a lot of good people. But I want to tell you this. The people that I went with, this was in Washington, D.C. I want to say it was 1992. And what I ended up doing was, it was like me and 16 people, I think. Maybe 16, maybe, I don't remember. It was a lot of people. But I remember by the afternoon, when they broke for lunch and we were in the afternoon session, I want you to know that everybody went to the bar except me. Everybody in my group went to go hang out at the bar. This was paid for by the place we were working for, but I was so engaged and so into it, and I thought it was really amazing that they all decided to go do that instead. And I realized as I go throughout my life, that's always been the case. I've always wanted to reach out and get better at self-development, self-growth. I wanted to put myself into challenging places, but when the challenges got too big or I wasn't paying attention, I took a U-turn, and I did basically what they did, but I always seemed to come back up. I would always show back up at a seminar because I want to learn more, I want to do more, I want to be more. And truth be told is that the reason I am where I'm at today is because I invested in myself. I put a lot of time and money and effort into training myself. And when I finally got to that point in my life where I felt I was, getting better at something, I would reach a little bit more and get something else. I mean, I've went to grant seminars I went to probably 10 of them that I paid for. A couple other ones, the dealership or the place that I was working at the time paid for it. I took my sales teams to go see him. Same thing, Tom Hopkins, went to a couple of those when I was living in Hawaii. And countless other ones. I was at West Point training with the retired Army generals. We went through a leadership course over there. The guy that did the choreography or whatever, he was the on the set guy for Top Gun. Forgot his name, sorry. But did some training with him in Texas for a function. And all these opportunities that I went through, these required trainings that I went to, these volunteer trainings, really helped develop me to the person that I am. So when you encompass all of that information, when you take everything that you have from everything that you've learned and you start applying it into a space, and you have really good intentions and a good ethics and good character, watch what happens. So I don't know if you're in my age category, or if you have some experiences, reach back to that stuff that maybe you take for granted, open it up, look at it, and see who around you could use help with the stuff that you've already learned. That's where I'm going with this today. So anyway, going back to those seminars and training the person that is proving to be truly helpful. And I realized that what I know doesn't matter. It's what the other person doesn't know and what they need help with is what matters. So anyway, I hope this podcast find you good. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter at the No Comfort Zone. Sorry, what is it? No Comfort Zone 1. I think is my tag. No Comfort Zone 1, that's right. Or go to the NoComfortZone.com and download the blueprint. Let's stay connected. Let's help you get to your goals, crush adversity, and be the best version of yourself.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye.